Seiffen, the toy village in Saxony. I would like to invite you today to have a little trip around the village. Here at the moment we are in front of the tourist information, which is also based here in the toy museum. So come on, have a look. Here we are in a toy museum where you can see the history of the toy manufacturing here in Erzgebirge. For example, here you have a good example of a huge pyramid which is traditional for Christmas. All around there you can see the different stages of the wood manufacturing in Erzgebirge. Here you see the church of Seiffen, which you later also will see in reality. This is a nice Christmas mountain, which gives you a nice overview what it looks like in the winter. Here you see a traditional wood turning place, how they used to work in about 1880. That is really unique in the world. It was invented here in Seiffen. Here you have a few examples what you can make out of the wood turning. Usually it used to be a lot of animals, different kind of animals, which you can produce out of that. At the moment there are less than 10 people who actually can still do that. So it's really, really rare and a really important thing for Seiffen to have this. So the toy museum is always worth a visit. And now we're going to go to the church, and there Raphael will tell you all the details about it.
Welcome to the Miners Church of Seiffen. The church itself became mostly famous because of her many reconstructions made from wood. It's safe to say that millions of replicas made it into the world and are an ambassador of the Ore Mountains, and for everyone a little piece of Christmas. The original we're standing in was constructed by architect Christian Gotthelf Reuter from 1776 to 1779. Reuter's big role model was the 40 years older women's church in Dresden. Both churches have in common that they do not bear the conventional shape of a church, but form an octagon in their altar space. Of course, the number 8 symbolizes the number of God, the number of infinity, and the number of everything divine. The church itself is 35 meters high, with a statue of a miner decorating the top, reminding us of our heritage as a miner's town. The chandeliers and the cross are also made from tin from Seiffen. Seiffen originates back to the technique of washing out the tin from the ore. Seiffen roughly translates to washing out, dating back to the technique from the monks originating from Bohemia in the monastery of Ossek. The angel and the miner shine throughout the year, reminding us of our heritage as a miner's town and our special connection to Christmas. The 4 chandeliers you see in the church are made from Bohemian glass manufactories around the 17th and 18th century. The organ you heard in the beginning was installed by the Popper brothers from the town of Stadtroda. With 2 manuals, 16 registers, and 1,053 pipes, and 1 little bell star operating 3 bells within, it plays in our church since 1873. You will now hear it for a second time, and afterwards we're moving back to Sebastian.
Now you have seen the Church of Seiffen. Thank you very much, Raphael. And now we go to the Binga, which is just a few footsteps away from here. Here we are on the Binga. Binga is a word in German which means it is an old mining place which has fallen in, which you can see over there. Recently all the seats have been renewed, so you can have events in here like as the choir or the Bergparade, which is really traditional here in Seiffen and in the Ore Mountains. Now here we arrived at the Binga Blick, the view over Seiffen, which is spectacular. In the background you can see the shape of the Ore Mountains. Here in the area around Seiffen there's a fantastic area for hiking, mountain biking and of course in the winter for skiing. Cross-country skiing or even alpine skiing. As you can see, Seiffen almost has everything, even a small little skiing area, which of course now doesn't have snow because we're middle of August. And after you're skiing and you want to relax a bit, there you have our lodge where you can have a beer or a hot wine if you wish. Now I'm standing under the gate of the Blockline 8000, which is a trail for mountain biking which extends over more than 140 kilometers. You don't need to worry, you don't need to make the 140 kilometers in one day. There are several hotels and little lodges or places where you can stay overnight and maybe spend the whole week to discover the Erzgebirge. And if you go with the mountain bike, you don't need to carry your luggage because the luggage is taken for you, so you can just relax cycling. Now we are here in one of the more than 50 shops you can find in Seiffen, where you can buy a lot of Christmas or traditional woodcraft. The shops are open all year round, so basically here always is Christmas. Now we are in front of the Open Air Museum in Seiffen, where you can see how people used to live about 100 years ago. Let's go! Here you can see a traditional wood turning place where they make the animals, which I explained before. Out of the big wood over there will come these little small animals and other things. Here we are now in one of the traditional houses where you can see how they used to live more than 100 years ago. In the Open Air Museum you have more than 10 of these houses, and each house has a different profession. The people back then used to work, live at the same area. Also the animals used to be in the house. So now here we are at the finish of our small tour of Seiffen. There are much more things to discover here in Seiffen. Come here for your holidays, come for a few days, meet the lovely people. We're waiting for you.